की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल।
उजागर, रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा, महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी, कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंजित केसा, हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे, शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन, विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर, प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे, लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई, सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा, तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू, प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई, जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा, पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय।
चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी, बरन रघुबर विमल जस जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि करहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपी सति लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबेको आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिंहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै। अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बल बीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर गोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा। भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा। भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा।
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Today is the festival. Today is the second day of the festival Ganesh Chaturthi, which we are all celebrating. So it is appropriate to start this session by praying our prayers to Ganesha. This festival celebrates Ganesha as the god of the new beginnings and the god of remover of obstacles. So let us start today's program. And Lord Ganesha is also well known as a god of wisdom and intelligence. So Jai Shri Krishna to everyone. Pranams to Param Pujya Shri Swami Govindev Giriji Maharaj. We have all assembled here on this Zoom platform to commence a wonderful Vivechan session, an event where every aspect is graced with auspiciousness, positivity, and the blessings of divinity. On behalf of Geeta Pariwar, myself, JVSM Lakshmi from Mumbai, I am privileged to invite you all to this session this evening. Today we are all here for the Vivechan of the second part of the 6th Adhyaya, the Atma Sayama Yoga. In this chapter, Krishna reveals the yoga of meditation and how to practice this yoga. He discusses the role of action in preparing for meditation, how performing duties in devotion purifies one's mind and heightens one's spiritual consciousness. So before we embark on our journey today, let us begin this glorious occasion with a devotional fervor by offering our prayers to Jagadguru Sri Krishna. So with an ardent devotion and a spirit of full faith, let us tune our hearts. So for today's prayer, I welcome Meera Trifalji, a graduate and a homemaker from Nagpur, Maharashtra. Meera ji is interested in Rangoli and is associated with Geeta Pariwar since 2021 and is now going to be a co-trainer for L1. Didi, please start the prayer.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. जय श्री कृष्ण.
Jai Shri Krishna. So let this prayer make our minds peaceful and our spirits full of awareness. So for today's prayer, with this prayer, melodious prayer, now today we are going to move forward to another auspicious occasion by offering our prayers to Ma Saraswati with the customary lighting of the ceremonial lamp, Deep Prajwalan, as a tribute to Ma Saraswati, the embodiment of knowledge. Today we have with us G. Nagakumari ji from Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. Didi is a homemaker and has done MCA and joined Geeta Pariwar in 2023, completed L3 and serving as a court trainer for L1. Didi, please come forward for the Deep Prajwalan, please.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतां वरदां शारदां नुमः.
That was a captivating prajwalan of devotion and faith. The melodies filled the air, not just with the melodious music, but with a serene sense of divinity and tranquility. Now, before we proceed forward, here is an important announcement. Our new level 1, 35th batch will be starting from 13th of September. That is 13th of this month. To enroll in this, the form can be filled at joingeeta.com from the mobile. Please pass on this valuable information to your friends, relatives, and acquaintances, and please make them aware about the new batch and encourage them to register in the language and time slot of their choice and be a part of this Gita Gyan Yajna. Now, finally, we are all set to enjoy the spiritual movements and now move on to the most awaited part of the session, the Vivechan, by our most respected and senior trainer, Vikas Ji Vaidya. Vikas Ji Bhaiya, a mechanical engineer with a postgraduate diploma in business management, is settled in Pune and owns a small IT company. Bhaiya is an eloquent speaker, and his passion in teaching and explaining the shlokas in a very interesting way draws attention of each and every listener. Bhaiya has great interest in learning new languages, which helped him to master many languages, both Indian and foreign. Bhaiya does the Sampurna Gita Parayan of all 18 adhyayas every day, and is also a trainer in Gita Pariwar for L1 to L4, and is involved in trainers selection and trainers training for L1 to L4 levels. He is also guiding Gita Vratis to prepare for Sringeri Peeth Gita exam. It's my honor and great pleasure and privilege to request you, Bhaiya, to take over and begin the interpretation session of the second part of the 6th Adhyaya. Vikas, Bhaiya, please.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् जय श्री कृष्ण टू ऑल. पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन. लास्ट वीक वी स्टार्टेड आत्म संयम योग, 6th अध्याय भगवद गीता. Few shlokas of this adhyaya, if we bring in our day-to-day life, will be a changed person. Yogeshwar, Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself is teaching us how to enter into meditation, how to do yoga. Last time we had completed up to Shlok 12, and in Shlok 11 and 12, Paramatma had started the process of teaching us how to enter into meditation, how to select the place, how to sit, and what should be the purpose of our meditation. So 11th Shloka, Bhagavan Shri Krishna said, Shucho deshe pratishthapya sthiramasanavatmanah natichridannati nichain chaila jinakushottaram. Place should be pious, clean, not very high, not very low. On that, how to prepare the seat, that has been said. Then tatra ekagram manah kritva, keep your mind concentrated, focused, and the purpose should be atma vishuddhaye. The purpose of meditation, the purpose of yoga should be purification of antakaran, no selfish intent. Let us continue with 30 shloka now. Samankai shiro grivan dharayanyachalam sthiraha samprekshanasikagram swan dishascha navalokayan. So after you have selected the place, you have sat down on that place, after preparing the seat, Paramatma says, Samam. Samam is straight. Kaya. Kaya is the body. Shira, head. Grivam. Grivam is the neck. Dharayan. Dharayan is to hold. Achalam. Achalam, non-moving. Not moving here and there. Sthira, still, stable. Sampreksha. Sampreksha is to look. Nasika agram. Nasika agram. The tip of the nose. Swayam. Own. Paramatma is going to the minutest of details. Look at the tip of your own nose, not somebody else's nose. So, Samankaya Shirogravan, Dharinyam Chalasira, Sampreksha Nasika Gramswan, Dishascha Anavalokayan. On all sides, Anavalokayan. Don't look here and there. Focus only on this. So one should hold his body, neck and head erect in a straight line and start steadily, stare steadily at the tip of his nose. So firmly holding the body, the neck and the head erect and still, and then gaze at the tip of your nose without looking here and there. You see the spinal column should be erect. When you sit down for meditation, don't see like this, sit straight. The spinal column should be erect. The lumbar region should be straightened. People do not sit straight, and that is why back pain is such a common problem these days. And mind you, if your lumbar region is not healthy, then your body will not be healthy. The spinal column is a very important part of our body, connecting peripheral nervous system to the brain. Thus, keep your spine healthy by regularly doing asanas and always ensure that you always sit with your back straight. Don't bend, straight. Once the posture is assumed, then don't make any movement. Be still. Now, most people find it very difficult to remain still. Either the shoulder or the leg or some other body part keeps moving here and there. The body can be stilled only through strong mental resolve. Thus, sitting still in the firm posture, gaze single-pointedly at the tip of your nose. Bhagavan Shri Krishna gives the minutest of details. Focus the gaze on the tip of your nose, swam, not somebody else's nose. There is a reason for focusing on the gaze of your tip, nose tip. When you focus gaze on the nasal tip here, the strain produced on the retina exerts a direct influence on the pineal gland of our brain. And thus, this is a distinctive practice that once you are able to fix the gaze on your nasal tip and simultaneously equalize incoming and outgoing breath, that is it. That is all Paramatma is asking us to do. Select a good place, not very high, not very low. Do the meditation with the intention of Atma Vishuddhaye. Sit straight. Samankaya Shirogrivan, Dharana Jvansila, Samprekshanasika Gram Swan, Dishashchana Avalokayan. Darudar Mad Dekho. Focus only on the tip of your nose. And then equalize your breath. Equalize your breath. That is it. Your mind will never be dissipated or agitated again. You cannot say that my friend is coming at 10 o'clock. So let me finish my meditation before that, between 9 and 10. If you have a time pressure that I must finish my meditation within such and such time, you will never be able to do the meditation. If you start meditation with these thoughts, then during meditation, you will see the clock and the friend only. 10 baj gaye kya? My friend is maybe knocking the door. Am I hearing the knocking of the door? Something like that. So you will not be able to focus on your meditation. Therefore, the antakaran has to be still before we sit for meditation. However, like any other practice, this practice needs to be learned on 1:1 basis from a guru. There is a method, a way of doing these practices properly. And what happens after one becomes an expert in these practices? Paramatma explains that in the next shloka. When we become an expert in sitting, taking this posture, focusing our mind, Samankai Shirogrivan Dharinyam Stila, Samprekshanasika Gramsam Dishashchanavalokayan, what happens? That Paramatma explains in the next shloka. Shloka number 14. Prashantatma vigatabhir brahmachari vrate stitaha manas sanyamya macchitto yukta asita matparaha. This is what it happens. Prashanta. Prashanta. Unagitated. Prashanta is unagitated. Atma. Atma here means the mind. Vikata bhi. Vikat means to give up. Vikata bhi. Bhi is the fear. Devoid of fear. Vigata bhi. Brahmachari vrate. For in the vow of celibacy. Brahmacharya. Sthita. Sthita is situated. Mana is mind. Sanyamya. Completely controlling, subduing, restraining. Mata. Upon me. Upon Lord Krishna. Chitta. The concentrating mind. Yukta. The actual yogi who is doing this. Asita. Should. Mata. Me. Para. Para is the ultimate. Param. Paramataha. So thus with an unagitated mind, subdued mind, which is devoid of fears, completely firm in the vow of celibacy, that means free from any thoughts of physical sexual life, one should meditate upon me within heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. So this is the beginning. After you sit properly, you have started meditation. These are the thoughts which should start coming into your mind, that I am doing this with this intention only. Samankai Shurogiri Vandharan Chidasam Prekshana Sivagram Samdishashan Avlokayan. Now Prashantatma Vigadabir Brahmachari Pratesida Manasayam Chitto Yukta Asita Matparaha. Thus, with the steel and stable mind, fearless and firm in the vow of celibacy, contemplate Manan Chintan upon me. Attaining me should be the prime goal of your life. Now, if you take the literal meaning of the word brahmacharya, celibacy, then you will find it very difficult to practice what is detailed in this shloka. But who is brahmachari? Who is a celibacy? At spiritual level, our scriptures state that the one who has attained for a Brahma is a brahmachari. At the physical level, one who systematically enters into some physical sexual act with complete awareness, not compelled by any driving sexual urge, such a householder is a brahmachari, despite engaging into the physical activity. The important point here is the absence of any driving sexual urge, lust, or the excitement, which means not being enslaved to the sexual urges of the body. So such a person who is not enslaved to his body is a brahmachari. Thus, being a householder is not a barrier to becoming a brahmachari. Our scriptures describe how this can be attained even when married or and leading a brahmachari's life. The scriptures explain how a man and woman can be in love and not in lust. Our sages did not regard sex to be an incompatible with seeking the divine. We misunderstand that seeking divine and this are two contradictory things. Our sages did not regard this. They did not discriminate between body and Atma. For one can the body exist without Atma? Cannot. So the truth is that even when our prana leaves the body, the omnipresent Atma is still there. What goes is Jiva, not Atma. Atma and Parabrahma are one. Thus can Atma, then all pervasive Parabrahma, come and go anywhere? Many of our Rishis, Munis, sages, our Rishis, they led a householder's life. Be it Vasishtha, be it Gangacharya, Atri, many Rishis. So as per the traditional definition of celibacy, none of them could be called as a celibate, because they were having family, they were having children also. They had their own physical life also. But as we discussed in the beginning of this shloka, this is not what brahmacharya entails. The one whose intellect is established in the firm conviction of Parabrahma whose mind harbors no desire for sense gratification, such a person transcends, crosses over sex despite being in the sexual intimacy. Thus, all sages or rishis were brahmacharis. A youngster was saying, there is a small story. A youngster was saying that I dream a lot about girls, but I feel uneasy sharing this with anyone. Another problem I face is that no girl is attracted towards me. No girl talks to me also. No girls find me attractive. The practitioner of yoga to whom this fellow met, he told him that if you find girls attractive, then there is nothing wrong or bad about it. You are young, your hormonal secretion are happening inside your body. Why are you feeling guilty about it? But yes, you should have something special to attract the girls. Once you have that X factor, girls will queue up for you. The boy excitedly asked him, is that really possible? The sadhak said, yes, it is possible, definitely. Come in morning to learn the yogasana from me. The boy wondered, how can yogasana make it possible? But trusting that sadhu, that yogacharya, the boy who used to sleep till 8 in the morning, he turned up for asanas at his ashramas at 4 in the morning. He was curious to know how asanas and yoga can treat this particular problem of his. There, first, a Sanskrit shloka was read, describing the fruits of performing yoga, how it makes the body healthy and attractive, etc., etc. The boy then started practicing the asanas and pranayam with dedication. And within 2 months, his asanas improved substantially. And pranayam also deepened very well. Once this happens, knots in the body begin to dissolve. And once the knots in the body start dissolving, toxins get flushed out. There is a marked improvement in the physics and the mind of this boy. 5 months later, the boy started saying that since I started practicing asanas and pranayam, my mind has become serene and balanced. And I don't get those types of dreams or thoughts anymore. I am feeling wonderfully light and happy. The Yogacharya said, no worldly attraction can entice the one who has quieted his mind through practice of yoga, asana, and pranayama. Even if such a person gets married, even during physical intimacy, his mind will remain calm and detached. Such a being can never be enslaved to the body needs. For the one who has tasted the inner nectar, worldly attractions are like poison to him. The Yogacharya, the devotees of meditation who are entering into meditation, they need to be free of all types of fears. Vigata bhi. Fears is of many types. Fear of your happy existence, fear of future, fear of death. The Paramatma with whom we want to get connected, there is a fear in our mind for him also. We are afraid, we are scared of Paramatma also. Therefore, before sitting for the meditation, remember continuously have some manan, chintan about him, about Paramatma, to create a feeling of devotion for him, not fear, but devotion for him. We have fear for whom? What are we afraid of? For one whom we have never met. If we have we have to go and develop a feeling of love and devotion for him before sitting for meditation. You'll have to fear. Is it true? See, always be definite, beautiful and complete form of Paramatma. Always keep in front of you the definite, beautiful and complete form of Paramatma, whether it is Bhagavan Shri Krishna Bhagavan Shri Ram, Shiva, Vishnu, whatever form you want, in your mind. Holding his hand, only we start the meditation and slowly enter into meditation, samadhi, and ultimately into nirvikalpa samadhi. Nirvikalpa, the mind which is devoid of any sankalpas, no wishes, no desires, nothing. Nirvikalpa samadhi. That is the ultimate objective of our meditation. So nirvikalpa samadhi is a state wherein we are completely devoid of all sankalpas. Now to achieve this, we have to have steadfast determination, a mind fully prepared to relinquish all worldly pleasures and attain a restrained, controlled mind. As we discussed, even if the devotee is married, he still can be a brahmachari. He can have a restrained life as of celibacy, even a married person. Some people immediately start looking for some light. They enter into meditation and they say, "मुझे कुछ अनुभव नहीं आ रहा है. I'm not experiencing anything." अरे भाई, you have started a meditation just now. How can you see the light of God within a day or two? This does not happen. This never happens. You have to have tremendous patience before you start realizing yourself the change in you due to the consistent, regular meditational practice. The one for whom this world is nothing, for whom Parabrahma alone is the truth, his mind, his subconscious gets still on its own. It does not have to forcibly quieten his mind. The process itself is such, explained by Lord Krishna, that the process will take care of subduing your mind. You don't have to do any external efforts for that. So this is how Paramatma is teaching us slowly the technique of entering into yoga. Further, Slok 15th. Yunjannevam sadatmanai yogi niyatamanasah shantin nirvana paramam matsanstha madhigacchati. Now further, Paramatma is going step by step. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah. So yunjan means to practice. Practicing of what? Practicing of yoga. Evam. Like the one mentioned just now in previous 2, 3, 4 slokas. Sada. Sada is constantly. Atmanam. Atmanam, the body, mind, and soul. Yogi, the Dhyan yogi who is entering into this meditation, yogi, niyatamanasah, with a regulated, controlled mind. Shantim nirmana paramam, ultimate transcendental spiritual peace. Mata samstham, God is the destination. Adhigacchati, does attain. So thus practicing the constant control of body, mind, and the activities, the Dhyan yogi who is entering into this meditation with his mind regulated attains the kingdom of God, the ultimate spiritual peace. Now once the mind is stilled and immersed into the divine, one attains supreme peace and joy. Such a being is liberated for eternity. See, you are liberated. It is just that you don't know this. We are already liberated. But only thing is we don't know this. And we keep suffering. You suffer because of your ignorance. And this is the reason why you need a guru who can give you the medicine of Raj Yoga, practices of pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, etc., etc. So that you can be cured of your self-inflicted illness. This illness is self-inflicted. We are already liberated, but we are under the impression that I am not liberated. So we should have a strong realization that at that fixed time of my meditation, the God will be waiting for me. And come what may, I cannot make him wait. If I have decided that I will start meditation at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, without fail, I should be in my seat at that time, realizing that God is waiting for me. Every bit of a hammer on the piece of steel helps changing its shape. You hit the steel with the hammer and it keeps on changing the shape of that piece of steel. Similarly, every little session of yoga abhyas helps us in changing ourselves. We are as hard as steel, but even the steel changes the shape. Similarly, our habits also go up. But constant hammering is required. Daily practice of yoga is the best way to treat ourselves. And what a cure it will be. If we really cure our body with this regular daily practice, it will be a great cure. From being entrenched in the misery of attachment with the body, mind, intellect, to the ultimate freedom of knowing that one is not body, one is not mind, one is not intellect. From the false identification with this finite body to being the all-pervasive, ever-blissful, detached witness, the Supreme Parabrahma. This feeling starts coming. The entire life gets transformed and you finally learn the art and craft of living this life. Then whether someone goes or someone comes or goes, someone is born or someone dies, it makes no difference to the detached witness, none whatsoever. In our case, we are not able to shift our focus from the worldly things to Adhyatma. That is our problem. When a new daughter-in-law comes into the family, the mother-in-law decides that now let me get engaged only in Adhyatma. Now this girl who has come newly as a member of our family, she will take care. Let me get engaged into Adhyatma. And let the new girl handle the household activities. She will take a mala after the morning bath and she will sit in the pujagar in front of the god idol. She may start taking Rama Nama, Sita Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram continuously, but her chitta is not in that Rama Nama. This new girl has come, has she started the water filter? Has she added adequate quantity of salt in the vegetable? सब्जी खारी तो नहीं हो जाएगी, ज्यादा तो नमक नहीं डाल देगी. Has she taken the right quantity of rice or will it go waste? And so on and so forth. So हाथ में तो माला है, in hand she is having that Rama Jap mala, but mind is not there in that mala. With this, she can attain yoga. She can neither attain yoga by Nama Japa, nor she can actively participate in the household work also. Na ghar ka na ghat ka. One needs to be first clearly understand that focused mind, chitta ekagra, is the first requirement of any type of yoga. Tattar ekagram mane chitta. In short, to get Atma Jnana, knowledge of the self, if the mind is focused, the yoga means what? Connection with Paramatma happens smoothly. With firm determination, strong faith and consistency, if we continue daily with yogic practice, someday we will experience him in ourselves and attain the supreme peace. So this is what Paramatma is guaranteeing in this shloka. Shante nirvana parama matsansthamadi gacchati. He attains my gati, param peace he attains. Provided we follow all the steps mentioned in this adhyay. Next. Na atnashnatastu yogosti na chaikantamanashnataha na chati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna. Now further, Paramatma says, after you have done this, listen, what next you have to do. You have to do this. No ati ashnataha. No ati ashnataha. No, not. Ati is too much. Ashnataha one who eats. Ashna means to eat. Yoga. Yoga is connection, linking with Paramatma. Asti, there is. No, not. Ekantam, overly. Bilkul bhi nahi khana aisa. Anashtataha, abstaining or avoiding eating. न चाहते स्वप्नशीलस्य. Swapnachilasya, one who sleeps. Jagrata, one who keeps awake. No, not Arjuna is Arjuna. So, Paramatma says, Natyashtatastu yogosti, na chaikanta manashtataha, na chati swapnashilasya, jagrato, naivacha Arjuna. So, this yogic practice which Paramatma is explaining for last 7-10 shlokas, Paramatma says, who can do this? For whom it is possible, for whom it is not possible. So there is a possibility of once becoming a yogi, Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough, he cannot become yogi. So natneshtatastu yogosti na chaikanta manashtata na chati swapne shilasya jagrato naivacha Arjuna. Arjuna, yoga is not possible for the one who eats too much or eats too little, nor is possible for the one who sleeps too much or one who always keeps awake. Now, really speaking, a yogi or a yoga learner, should I say, must have some knowledge of human body, human anatomy, physiology, because many times it is the body which is sick, but the person may mistakenly believe that his mind is unwell. He does not know whether the body is sick or mind is sick. For example, for a person whose thyroid is overactive, he will eat a lot. His libido will increase, and the person may think that something is wrong with my mind. मुझे भूख बहुत लगता है आजकल. Mind is gone crazy. Whereas it is the thyroid gland which is not functioning normally. Likewise, one reason for someone to get angry or aggressive is some biochemical or endocrinal dysfunction of the brain, rather than a primary mental reason. So that's why practicing asanas regularly will ensure optimal functioning of the body and the body system. If your body is unhealthy, how can you carry on with the spiritual practice? Impossible. The Lord says in this shloka that yoga cannot be attained by one who eats too much, or the one who starves himself by eating too little. An optimal amount of food is essential. Otherwise, where will you get the energy for proper function of your mind and body? Some people never know where to stop and where to stop and where to say no. We eat to live and not live to eat. Sirf khate rehna, when to say no, we should understand that also. And some other extremes are those who deliberately starve themselves thinking that this is yoga. Keeping fasting every day is yoga. That is what their misunderstanding is. Some people take a great pride in telling that they keep fast on 3 days in a week. सोमवार को उपवास रखता हूँ, गुरुवार को उपवास रखता हूँ, शनिवार को उपवास रखता हूँ, and they take great pride in telling this to their contacts, their people. Plus Ekadashi, Pradosh, all these are there already. So keeping too many days of fasting is not recommended. Once a week is enough. People keep fasting on Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Ekadashi, Pradosh, all that. You see, fasting done with this misunderstanding that one is worshipping the God by remaining hungry neither results in collecting any punya, nor does it benefit your body. When the body is demanding the food, by keeping it deprived of it, you are doing gross injustice to your own body. Adhyatmic sadhana has no correlation with your fasting at all. Don't think that by doing fasting you are doing adhyatma. Except that one learn to restrain the senses to some extent. Indriya nigra is, you learn the technique of Indriya nigra when you are doing fasting. So that benefit definitely you get. You tell your tongue that you will not get anything to eat for one day in a week. Full stop. See how the mind protests. If you give in, you are not able to restrain. If you do not, you are learning the art of restraining the senses. But don't do too much of it. You will fall sick. Sant Kabir says, सातों दिन भगवान के क्या मंगल क्या पीर, जिस दिन सोए देर तक भूखा रहे फकीर. All days are same, as they are all being created by God only. They all belong to God only, all days. To have focused mind, the healthy body is a prerequisite. The appropriate way to eat is to have balanced meal in moderation. Moderation is the key. So the ideal situation is when you get up early in the morning, do your asanas and pranayam regularly, of course, and then have your breakfast. Furthermore, try to eat natural organic produce and refrain from eating processed food, which has the preservatives and the refined sugar. That is also bad. Eat natural ghee made from cow's milk. It is good for your body when taken in moderation. Secondly, eat only as much that fills the quarter of your stomach capacity. Ensure that you chew the food properly so that it is liquefied in the mouth itself. The other thing to bear in mind is not to drink water within an hour of eating. Drink before the meal and 1 hour after the meal. And it is good to lie down for 15-20 minutes after the lunch, ensuring that one lies down on the left side of the body. Don't sleep during the daytime unless you are ill or too old. If you sleep immediately after the meal, will the food get digested properly? No. Likewise, sleeping too much or too little is also injurious to your health. Don't live your life in extremes. Again, moderation is the key. Thus, sleep by 10 p.m. and get up by 5 a.m. Fair enough, good enough. No need to get up at 3 o'clock and all that. You can get up at 5 o'clock, fair enough. But sleep at 10. If you sleep at 12 o'clock, not possible to get up at 5. And even if you get, then your sleep will not be complete. So always remember that a disciplined life is a healthy life. Kumbhakarna lost his life because of sleeping too much. We know the story of Kumbhakarna. Bakasur lost his life because of eating too much. We don't have to become Kumbhakarna or Bakasur. Extremism in anything is bad. Moderation in eating, moderation in sleeping is required for the yoga abhyas. Paramatma is giving all minute details for yogis, how to start yoga and how to remain yogi. Next sloka. 17. Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Now we'll go directly into the meaning instead of going word by word explanation, because today we have to cover many shlokas. So Paramatma says yoga destroys material sufferings of those who lead a balanced life. when all activities including eating, sleeping, working and recreation are done in moderation. Yukta ahar, yukta vihar, all that should be yukta in moderation, in appropriate quantity. When we visit someone, we may bring our host, he may bring a cup of coffee or tea and a dish full of biscuits. We don't eat all the biscuits, isn't it? We just take one or two, just to show respect to him, that he has brought a dish full of biscuits. So not to insult you, you pick up one or two biscuits. That restraint we should bring that restraint to our life also. Don't give up eating, but keep it restrained. Many people think that following path of Adhyatma means we should stop playing sports. Khelna is tamasi. No, it is not. Paramatma says yukta ahar, yukta vihar. Right quantity of playing is also good, allowed. Manoranjan is also allowed, provided it is in right quantity. Some people consider sport as a childish activity and immaturish activity. But for developing your mind, you have to play the sport. God does all kridas. Then why a human being should not do it? Krishna Bhagavan did not play when he was a child? He did. But when timing is over, we should give up that. These days, TV has become a main reason for our sleeping late in the night. The serial that we like most comes at 10:30 in the night. It goes until 11:30. We go to the bed at 12 o'clock. We keep changing here and there positions till 1 o'clock. Sleeping habits have been spoiled by TV. That results in either our waking up late or not taking adequate amount of sleep. This enslavement of TV should be given up. Eat judiciously, work judiciously, do your own work. Why be dependent on others? Why can't a healthy housewife who does not go out for work do the household work herself rather than depending on 3, 4, 5 maids? एक काम के लिए एक, दूसरे काम के लिए दूसरी, तीसरे काम के लिए तीसरी. Why not we get up and fetch our glass of water rather asking someone else, मुझे थोड़ा पानी दे दो. अरे भाई, you walk up, no? You walk up to the kitchen, bring your own glass of water. Furthermore, why can't men give up a helping hand? Why should they not give a helping hand to their wives and share the work? Now the Indians who are settled abroad, they have to compulsorily do it because there is no maid service in most of the countries. Whether you go to USA, Canada, Europe, any place, Australia, anywhere. No maids are there. You have to do your own work. So the husbands will do the dishwasher setting, invariably they do it. So furthermore, household activities like cleaning the house, windows, walls, roof, even washing clothes are all good physical exercises. Some people employ 3, 4, 5 maids for different activities and keep themselves busy in watching TV serials throughout the day and some part of night also. Because they can afford it. They have a lot of money, so they can employ 3, 4, 5 maids also. It is not the question of affording, but rather some physical discipline to be followed as a routine. It is believed that those who carry out such laborious physical activities on a daily basis, which will take your body sweat, generally keep in good health. Those who keep watching TV throughout the day, they will fall sick. So sweating washes away all the bodily toxins, thereby energizing and refreshing our body. The Lord adds that your sleep should be in moderation. Yukta ahar, yukta viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya. Yukta swapnava. Your sleep should be in moderation. Yukta. You should align your body's position with that of Earth's magnetic field when you sleep. If you sleep in wrong position, wrong direction, the magnetic field of the Earth can harm your brain cells. You say that south की तरफ पैर करके नहीं सोना चाहिए, and your sleep will be disturbed. The Lord says, those who lead their life in moderation are eligible to receive the fruits of yoga. So yoga, while doing yoga, all these tips given by Lord Krishna himself as a Yogeshwar, one has to keep in mind. Further, 18th sloka, Paramatma says, यदा विनिदय चित्तम आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यो युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा. Krishna Bhagavan says, when the totally controlled subconscious mind rests in pure self, devoid of all material desires, such a person is said to be yoga yukta, steadfastly established in yoga. See, honestly speaking, you cannot control your subconscious mind. Rather, you can understand the subconscious mind. You cannot control it. The word control has been traditionally used in the reference to the mind. Mind can be controlled, not the subconscious. And the senses. Senses can be controlled. Control your senses, control your mind. But how can you forcibly control the senses or mind also? Is it easy? Can you do it? See, all you can do is to be aware of the working of senses, mind, and intellect. That is how you can understand their functioning. And the moment you become an observer, as observer of your mind, all mental fluctuations and modifications simply go away. You keep observing your mind as a witness, as a third person. You cannot control, you can only understand your mind. Observe. Where do the thoughts come from? And where do the thoughts go? How does the mind function? You can understand this only by detachedly observing the antics of your own mind. All noises, chaos of thoughts in the mind only as long as you are unconscious, unaware. The moment you get awakened, this turbulence in mind starts to get quietened. When you're observing your own mind as a witness, as a third person, you don't have to do anything to stop your thoughts. So don't fight with them. See, I am going to stop my thoughts. Is also a thought, no? Is also a thought, isn't it? Thus, you cannot become thoughtless by forcibly suppressing your thoughts. If you fight with your mind, the mind will invariably be the winner. You will lose all the time. Mind will win all the time. You cannot link your identity with the mind. You are not mind. You are not senses. You are not intellect. It is firmly rooted. It is only when you detachedly witness and observe the tactics, the games played by your mind, then the mind stops. The Lord says that mind that has stopped, that has quietened, there is a question of desires arising in such a stilled mind. The mind has been quietened. So how the desires can come to such a quietened mind? What desires? What attachments? What aversions? When the mind ceases to be, thus all the bondages dissolve and you become free, eternally free. Become a witness of mind and not the mind. That is the way to come out of I am a mind game. So Paramatma is teaching us every small thing, how we should think, while thinking where we should look. Look at your own mind, but look it detachedly. Don't consider you are a mind. And then your mind will get quietened on its own. Next. यथा दीपो निवातस्थो निंगते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः. Paramatma is giving some example now. Upama. A flame does not flicker when it is placed in a breezeless place. This is the analogy. used to describe the state of a yogi whose mind is perfectly stable and who always remains steadfastly absorbed in divine remembrance. The Lord gives the simile of the flame, stating that just as the flame remains absolutely still in a place devoid of breeze, so is the steadfast yogi's mind, which remains absolutely still without the quiver of single thought. Furthermore, no breeze of desire disturbs the quietude of such a stilled mind. At a deeper level, you are the flame, the light of awareness which never extinguishes. But what a misfortune. Such is the unfortunate state today that every embodiment of light is stumbling in the darkness. Can you imagine light getting trapped in darkness? But this is what is happening. Lord says, wandering aimlessly, stumbling, bumbling, and falling in ignorance, in attachment, you were and you are supreme for Brahman. But what a tragedy that you have no inkling of your own essence. Desires agitate and disturb your mind. They throw your mind in turmoil. Thus, you have to be always careful that desires do not disturb the peace of mind. Don't let desires drive your mind in turbulence. That means, in depth of your meditation, when you are concentrating on an inspirational message, the message one gives, the more he receives from God. For example, this is the message on which you are meditating. That the more one gives, the more he receives from God. This is the message on which you are meditating. Those who pardon others get pardoned by God. Another message on which you are meditating. Your mind should be like the tip of flame in the breezeless place, motionless and steady. At that time, you will be concentrating on the words of the prayer. The prayer could be, the more one gives, the more he receives from the God, or the prayer could be, those who pardon others get pardoned by God. Meditate on each word of this prayer. That means you are slowly becoming the embodiment of these thoughts in your daily conduct and consciousness. It requires enormous efforts to do this. But through ceaseless effort, probably everyone probably can attain this, can reach that state through consistent practice of meditation, in which the mind, like the flame of the lamp, does not flicker or waver at all. So let us continue with slok number 20. Paramatma says, Yatro paramate chittan niruddhan yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyannatmani tushyati. Sri Krishna Bhagavan says, when the subconscious mind has been stilled and abides in complete repose, what is repose that we'll see? Repose is half sleep. Example which we discussed in last session, take a full body oil massage and you experience this state of repose. You're not sleeping, but you're not very fully awake also. That is repose. So through practice of yoga, you have to enter that repose, that your mind stops demanding anything. When one experiences the supreme divinity through the refined intellect, which has been purified through remembrance of the Lord, thus seeing the self by the self, the yogi is contented in his own self. In simple words, in the still mind, the self reveals. If the mind is agitated with material demands, desires, kamanas, The self will never surface in that mind. It never reveal. From the depths of meditation, the man draws joy and peace of complete fulfillment. The entire journey of spirituality has been condensed in this one single shloka. Firstly, steal the subconscious mind through practice of yoga. The subconscious mind is in uparamate, that means total repose, with neither passion nor dispassion to the material world. There is neither any attachment nor any aversion to the material world. And this stillness and total repose of the subconscious mind will be attained through the practice of yoga. Now, there are several well-defined paths of yoga. Bhakti yoga, Dhyana yoga, Hatha yoga, Raja yoga, Kundalini yoga, Lay yoga, Mantra yoga, many. Get to know from an expert which of these suit you the best. Guru can tell you. If your mind is restless, you may be advised to follow Mantra yoga. If your body is unhealthy or imbalanced, then the path of Hatha yoga or Raj yoga is best. As you progress, your Guru will then introduce you to Bhakti yoga to increase the depth of devotion in your mind. Kirtan, Nama Japa, and love are the tools of Bhakti yoga. As you keep on progressing, the Guru will keep on introducing deeper and deeper practices like Chakra yoga, Kundalini yoga, Lay yoga, and so on. It is the effect of these practices which will steal your subconscious mind. But remember, you cannot skip any of these steps. You cannot pick and choose, saying that I will do only Hatha yoga and nothing else. Thus, the fellow will convert yoga into gymnastics if it does only Hatha yoga. That may help you in keeping your body fit. Fine, very good. But that's all. No further thing you can get from yoga. Our goal is much larger than this. The Lord says, once the subconscious mind has been stilled and it is in complete repose, then the experience of the Supreme Chaitanya will happen through refined and pure intellect. Remember, the dhyan cannot be comprehended by impure intellect. Your intellect has to be pure first. And that is why we are doing meditation, to purify antakaran, to purify our mind, to purify our intellect. Next, Sukhamatyatikam yattad buddhigrahyamatīndriyam vetti yatra na chaivayam stitaschalati tatvataha. Krishna Bhagavan says, the purified intellect, which has transcended the senses, absorbs the boundless bliss, Paramananda. And the yogi who is in this state of sheer bliss never moves away from it. Once you have tasted the nectar, why will you move away from it? Isn't it? So the infinite supreme divinity, the Parabrahma, is beyond the senses, beyond the mind. Mind is finite, but Parabrahma is eternal, infinite. Thus, how can you know the infinite through the finite? On a full moon night in summer, you are lying down on your terrace listening to some old Bollywood classics. And you feel, yes, this is the pleasure. Listening to the old songs of Lataji, Asha Bhosle, Kishore Kumar, or all those. This is the real pleasure in life, lying down on the terrace on a summer night. This is the happiness of life. But this happens, what happens is this joy, this happiness is sense dependent. It starts when the senses get connected to the sense objects. Here, your ear get connected to the listening. And then it ends. We are talking of happiness, which is sense independent and unlimited and eternal. One who experiences this celestial happiness how can he remain interested in the sense-dependent happiness? He has understood the great limitations of body, senses, sense objects, etc. Such a person never gets deviated from his self, irrespective of body age, pain, or troubles. This particular state of antakaran is called yoga. Ordinarily, people have connection, sanyog, with miseries and pains since the birth. The disconnection of that state of misery and misfortune and pain is attained through the yogic Atmanubhuti. Getting deeply engrossed in pure self is the state of samadhi, and once this beyond senses pleasure is experienced by a devotee, he never comes out of that pleasure because it is sense independent. So what you have to do is to keep on refining and purifying your intellect by diligently and consistently performing spiritual practices. Once the intellect gets deeply distilled, purified, the infinite supreme Parabrahma, the infinite bliss manifests from within you. Then the yogi attains the self-realization, the supreme Parabrahma. And once attained, the yogi never ever moves away from this highly evolved state of being. Thus, whatever the yogi does, be it eating, talking, walking, seeing, laughing, or even crying, he will be always established in eternal, blissful, supreme Parabrahma. All his actions, in fact, his entire life becomes nothing more than the divine play, lila of Paramatma. So what you have to do is to keep on refining and purifying your intellect by diligently and consistently performing spiritual practices, which we are learning in Bhagavad-Gītā, particularly in this Adhyaya. Once the intellect gets deeply distilled, purified, the infinite supreme Parabrahma, the infinite bliss manifests from within. Then the yogi attains the self-realization, the supreme Parabrahma. And once attained, the yogi never ever moves away from this highly evolved state of being. Then whatever the yogi does, be it eating, talking, walking, sleeping, laughing, or even crying, he will be always established in the eternal, blissful, supreme Parabrahma, irrespective of the activity that he is performing. All his actions, in fact, his entire life, then becomes nothing more than the divine play, Krishna Lila. Thus, all the hard work is to be done only once. Once attained, the Lord never ever leaves you. Once you attain him, then the Lord will never leave you. Perfect your body through Hatha Yoga, perfect your mind through Mantra Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and perfect intellect through Jnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga. However, do note that the God is very close, closer than your breath, to those whose intentions are pure, whose hearts are pure. Otherwise, the Lord could be any more further away, could be very, very far away, like the billions of light years from us. The moon is just 4 lakh kilometers away, which the light travels in 2 minutes. That is 2 light minutes away. Moon is only 2 light minutes away. Chandrayaan has taken 3 weeks to reach there. We are talking of billions of light years. Paramatma could be billions of light years away from us. if our mind, intellect is not pure and we want to remember him, but he is so far away. But if we follow proper path as given down in Bhagavad Gītā, then he is as close as our own breath. Next, 22nd slok. Yallabhva cha parallabham manyate nadhikan tatah yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurna api vichalyate. For the yogi who has attained the Lord, through these practices, spiritual practices, there is nothing superior to this attainment. Can there be anything superior to attaining Paramatma? Nothing, cannot be. And thus established in the supreme divinity, he is not perturbed even by the catastrophic grief. Can there be any achievement than the attainment of supreme divinity? But look at our lamentable condition. Our idea of profit are just confined to buying a material object at a cheaper price. When tomatoes were 150 rupees per kg, if somehow we manage to buy it at rupees 100 per kg, we rejoice, saying we have won the lottery. 5 kilo tomato kharid ke laya hu at 100 rupees. Others were buying at 150. I bought it at 100 rupees. Are these the achievements? The greatest remuneration in this world is the attainment of God. Nothing else can ever match this accomplishment. Once this invaluable wealth is attained, the yogi never gets distressed or disconcerted by sorrow of whatever proportion. The yogi's mind always stays calm and unperturbed. There was a time, this is about Guru Govind Singh Ji. There was a time when Guru Govind Singh had all the worldly pleasures, riches, success, fame, and a very loving family, and powerful army that adored him. People would regard him as God and worship him with utmost reverence. He had all the wealth, power, love, respect, everything. But then the time changed. He lost all of his 4 sons. 2 died waging a war, and 2 had to face a harrowing death as they were buried alive by the Mughals. The Mughals are terrorists since that time. His father had already been brutally murdered, and then his mother also died. Then while waging a war which they appeared to be losing, his followers made him to flee from the fort in the middle of the night. Guru Gobind Singh declined. He did not want to leave, but somehow he was forced to leave for his own safety. He had wandered alone in the forest at night. It was cold and raining and windy. He whose body would get bruises, even with the seas in the silken bedsheet, had to sleep on the wet ground in the forest, all drenched and shivering in the cold. But there was a peaceful smile on his face, even in those trying conditions. While gazing at the sky, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he explained, "Oh beloved Lord, as long as you are there with me, I am not bothered by anything. All I want is for you to stay with me forever. Then whatsoever happens may happen, for it will not disturb my inner bliss." So he could attain that bliss even in those conditions. When the Senapati wins the war, the commander, the Senapati wins the war, he does not care about the body injuries inflicted by the war. Once you experience that Brahmananda, you automatically stop thinking about the physical, mental miseries of life. This is the state of Jnani. Such is his steadfast grounding in the supreme divinity that no matter how harsh the trials and tribulations are, he does not get distressed by anything, and nothing can displace him from his state of super bliss, Paramananda. Next, 23. Tam vidya dukkha sanyoga vyogam yoga sanchitam sanischayena yuktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa. Further, Paramatma says, this yoga which you are learning now, this yoga entails severance of painful material world and union with the blissful supreme divinity. It cuts you off from the material world, which has caused so much of misery and sorrow, grief in your life, and it connects you. It establishes your union with the blissful Parabrahma, blissful supreme divinity. And this yoga should be practiced with a steadfast and inspired mind. Now, there is nothing more important than perfecting the yoga. Yoga needs to be perfected. Besides, the Lord adds two conditions that need to be fulfilled. Which are the two conditions? First, be wary of the company that you keep. Don't keep the company of people who believe that having pleasures is the most important thing in life. Don't mingle with those who are not seeking the higher truth and those who do not respect the God. Your true friends are those who are like-minded, like we have in Geeta Pariwar, and treading on the path of spirituality. Keep away from others. Mind you, this does not mean you hate them and consider yourself superior to them. मुझे बहुत आता है. After all, every being is on his own journey. If you cannot avoid them, at least the contact with them should be bare minimum. Furthermore, don't reveal your spiritual interest to those who are not interested. Do not waste your time. Use your time for your own sadhana, your own evolution. Attaining this state of sukhamatyatikkai is not easy. Atyantik sukh is not easy. Consistent, committed, dedicated efforts are required. A hasty or crabby approach never helps. You may have to spend years in one stage before you move forward to the next step. But never lose the patience. Some of us are very enthusiastic in starting the yoga, but the interest fades away in a few days. We expect immediate results. We want to see the divine light immediately as soon as we start the meditation. We want to attain the samadhi immediately. Some people take tuitions in samadhi. वो समाधि का ट्यूशन लेने के लिए गया है. अच्छा, समाधि का भी ट्यूशन होता है क्या? Okay. But samadhi is to be experienced, not taught. The initial enthusiasm should keep on increasing day by day. Instead of wearing it out day by day, it should keep on increasing day by day. Thus, your mind should not get bored of doing spiritual practices. It should get more and more enthusiastic. You should wait for the clock to tick 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning when I will sit for meditation. Generally, it happens with us that some days we are very enthusiastic and do our practices with full vigor and attention. And then there are days when you are disinterested. So you feel it's okay not to practice on those days. Thus make sure that feeling boredom does not creep in at any stage of meditation. Boredom is indeed a big stumbling block on the path of spirituality, wherein people go haywire, they go astray. As they get bored and with the monotony of the practices. रोज क्या प्राणायाम करने का, रोज क्या आसन करने का, monotony makes them disinterested in yoga. So once a disciple, he told his guru that he will leave the practice of yoga because he's getting bored. The guru said, then leave me also. Don't stay here. Leave me also. Don't leave only the yoga, but leave me also. Because it is I who brought this boredom to you. You want to leave yoga? Leave me also. Don't stay here. The Lord cautions us to be careful of this boredom. Perform practices of yoga with a mind that is motivated, enthusiastic, inspired. Don't allow boredom to creep in your yogic practice. Next, 24. Sankalpa prabhavan kamans tyaktva sarvan sheshatah manasevendriya gramam viniyamya samantataha. Determinedly and detachedly renounce all the desires, along with sankalpa, and rein in senses from all sides with the aid of mind. That is the meaning but the word. See, the desires and sankalpas originate from the underlying vasanas. We have hidden vasanas in our subconscious, and they prop up sometimes and give the form of desires and sankalpas in our mind. And sanskars are the root cause of all vasanas. The Lord says, uproot the desires completely, including the root of vasanas, and throw them out of subconscious mind. Now, this is an extremely profound task indeed. Stopping the thoughts for some time, that is not enough, only for some time. As long as the seeds of samskar are lurking in the deeper layers of the mind, vasanas will keep on awakening, desires will keep on sprouting, sankalpas will keep on being formed, and this will keep on translating into our karma, into our actions. Thus, deep cleansing is required. Deep cleansing is required. One needs to eradicate the very root of this entire chain, which means total destruction of sanskars. We are carrying on sanskars for last many lives, including this life. Now, how can the sanskar be destroyed? Whatever has been accumulated for last many lives, how can that be destroyed? There are two ways. One is yoga nidra, and second is detached witnessing. Yoga nidra and detached witnessing. These are the ways in going deeper into the mind. And doing so, gradually the mind will get emptied of samskars and desires. If we don't sweep and clean our balcony or terrace every day, it gets covered by dust. And if we don't clean for weeks, it gets totally hidden under the layer of dust. Similarly, our mind gets cluttered and covered with debris when we fail to have our daily meditation. Weekly once cleaning is not enough. Daily cleansing is required. The way to keep the mind clean and pure is to spend half an hour or 1 hour every day, no matter what other responsibilities we have, in the practice of meditation. If we do it regularly, every morning, we gradually shall find that it becomes easy to keep the place clean. Without meditation, it is difficult to bring the senses under control. No, we said yoga nidra. What is yoga nidra? The term yoga nidra means yogic or psychic sleep. It is a state of consciousness between waking and sleeping. It is neither full waking nor full sleeping, between, somewhere in between, induced by the guided meditation. The most general description of the practice is that it combines guided mental imagery with a specific yoga posture called shavasana. You lie down like a dead body, shavasana. The goal of yoga nidra is to promote a profound state of relaxation, which differs from sleep in as much as there is still an awareness in one's surroundings. So yoga nidra starts with the body placed in shavasana. The teacher will direct their students to move and rotate their awareness to the different parts of body one by one, relaxing each part in turn while remaining motionless. You don't move your body, you remain motionless. But you keep focusing on parts of body one by one and start feeling relaxation in those parts of body. That is yoga nidra. Next, 25th sloka. Shanai shanairu paramed buddhya dhriti gruhitaya atma sanstam manakrutva Na kinchidapi chintayet. Shanai, shanai. This is important. Gradually, step by step, attain mental repose through unwavering conviction of the intellect. Thus, the mind should be fixed on the Lord and contemplate, that means Manan Chintan, of nothing else but only the Lord. The Lord says, don't be in a hurry, as the achievement will occur gradually. Shanai, shanai. But a word of caution here, so that we don't get it too easy also. Don't be in a hurry, but remember that the practice needs supplement of complete vairagya, dispassion. Thus keep practicing with patience and dispassion, being neither lethargic nor being in a great hurry. You may have noticed, when you ask to hurry up, the task may even get more delayed. For example, if someone is getting dressed up and you keep pressurizing him to hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, then the person starts fumbling. He wears the clothes and with wrong side up and buttons upside down. And thus he takes longer time than to get dressed than he would have normally taken if you had not forced him to speed up, speed up, speed up. It is likely that the person taking bath may slip and fall down in the bathroom if you ask to hurry up. If you have to catch a flight at say 4 p.m., tell your partner that we need to reach the airport by 3 p.m. Else, we will have to stay back as we will miss the flight. Your partner will be ready quickly. The Lord says that spiritual evolution is of utmost importance in this life. But it is equally important that you take one step at a time and do not be in a haste to accomplish everything in one day. Don't insist that I should get into samadhi on the very first day of my meditational practice. Impossible. The restraining of mind and senses should also be devoid of any sankalpa, meaning the thought that I am wanting to attain samadhi also causes an obstacle in your meditation. We need to only prepare the groundwork. Rest all will happen automatically. The Lord, knowing purity of our antakaran, will hold our hand and take us on the path of spirituality himself. But we should not have any kamana, desire, anxiety in this regard. This sadhana is to be undertaken with great patience. The Lord says, you will be falling, will keep making mistakes, and will keep rectifying mistakes, but don't worry. Master has immense patience. Paramatma has immense patience. He is happy that we are at least trying. We may fall down, we may get derailed, but Paramatma is happy that at least the fellow is trying. He will keep his helping hand to us. In short, practice patiently and diligently, immersing your mind in contemplation of the divine and ensuring that no worldly desire disturbs or distracts your determination. Next, 26th. Yato yato nischarati manaschainjalamasthiram tatastato niyammetat atman neva vashannaye. Now Paramatma realizes that when one sits for meditation, his mind will start going away from that place of meditation. If you are sitting in a meditational room in your house, the mind will go and sit in a mall or in a theater or in a friends group in the restaurant. So wherever this unstable mind wanders due to its unpredictable nature, withdraw it from all those worldly objects, bring it back and establish into divine. So our job is only to do this. Mind is going there, bring it back, make it sit there. It will again go somewhere, bring it back. Again go somewhere, again bring it back. You have to eliminate all those reasons due to which your mind wanders into this phenomenal world. What is the reason? My mind is running away here and there all the time, not sitting at one place for meditation. For example, A man sees a woman and some desire arises in his mind. And feeling guilty, now he may decide never to look at any woman so that the urge never comes again. But is it practicable? Is it possible? Instead, what he ought to do is find the root cause which lead to that urge in him to have look at the women all the time. You should ponder as to why in the first place such a desire rose in his mind. What will he get by gratifying that desire? Thus, you should, instead of avoiding to think and pushing under the carpet, go deeper and dwell on this issue to find out root cause of this desire. And all the contemplation will lead to the basic reason why everyone is seeking sensual gratification. And that is because everyone is seeking for wants, joy, happiness, bliss in life. When this answer is given by your own mind, your own intellect, ask yourself, what sort of joy do you want? Temporary or permanent? A bachelor asks a married man how happy he is in his life. He may get a reply that I was looking for joy and happiness before I got married and thought that if I marry a bombshell, beautiful girl, that means, but now the bombs keep bursting in my home all the time. I married a bombshell, but the bombs are bursting every day in my house. My wife, yes, that same bombshell with whom I married, keeps on fighting with my mother every day, my sister every day, and she has driven away all servants due to her abusive nature. No joy in marriage, boss. शादी में कुछ सुख नहीं है. Think, why do you want wealth? Why do you want fame? Why do you want success? Why do you want power? Or man, woman, whatever. Or indeed anything else in life. Ponder over it. You will finally arrive at the conclusion that the root cause of all desires in your longing is for joy, everlasting bliss. And you will get this pristine, everlasting joy from the eternal, ever blissful Parabrahma. He is the only permanent joy giver. Nothing else can give permanent bliss. Nowhere else. Thus the Lord says, eradicate the root cause of the desire and keep your mind in total repose. You have to first find the reasons that disturb your mind and keep on working towards stilling your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind can be stilled only when the mind has been emptied of all desires. And this in turn will occur only when you understand and go deeper in the layers of your own subconscious mind. किस सुख की मुझे इतनी चिंता रहती है? What सुख I am really searching for? What is giving me pleasure? And why I want that pleasure? We usually remain only at the surface level. We never go deeper in our own subconscious. This is further explained by Lord Shri Krishna in the next few shlokas. So, shlok 27. 27. Prashantamanasam yenai yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shantaradasam brahmabhutam kalmasham. Paramatma says, the yogi whose mind is peaceful, who is free from sin, whose Raja Guna, Rajasi Guna, that means principle of activity or restlessness is caused by Raja Guna, has been quietened down, such a yogi who has realized the Supreme Parabrahma attains supreme bliss. Gautam Buddha and even the Western thinkers define nirvana as disconnecting or forgetting the material world. But Shri Krishna is explaining the state of Brahma Nirvana, not only Nirvana, but Brahma Nirvana in this shloka. That means immediately after renouncing the material world, the realization of our pure self should commence. That means where Nirvana ends, the Brahma Nirvana starts. Disconnecting the material world is the first step After that, to get deeply rooted in the contemplation, that means Manan Chintan of Parabrahma, is the next step. And ultimately, Nirvikalpa, devoid of any sankalpa whatsoever, that samadhi, Nirvikalpa samadhi, is the ultimate top stage of meditation. The realization of your pure self starts happening at that stage, when you attain that stage of Nirvikalpa samadhi. Those who see the Lord in all aspects of life and every bit of life above unshakable strength, for they are rooted in the Lord. Nothing can agitate them, as their minds are still and their thoughts are completely under control. Every day we have opportunities for spiritual growth when things happen to us which we don't like. Mind you, unfavorable instances offer better opportunities to practice spirituality than the favorable instances. Unfavorable things happening make our mind moving in all directions of agitation. There is no use getting mad at the mind, because the angrier we at the mind are, the more we'll be agitated. The best way to keep the mind repeating the mantra again and again. Another secret for stealing your agitated mind is to throw yourself into work with no thoughts of return reward. Nishkam karma karte rahiye. Forget about what the mind was thinking about, that sorrow, that problem. For young people, a necessary part of spiritual discipline is getting engaged in some hard physical work, which, when combined with the mantras, it calms down the mind. When all our selfish, agitated desires have been expelled from our mind, what remains is pure joy. Pure spirit, of which we are unaware all these times. Joy is imprisoned in us, just waiting to be released from the jailer. Who is the jailer? Our selfish desires. They are the jailer. This is what we are learning to do through meditation. To throw open our arms and welcome the joy of living that has been waiting all this time to embrace us, and the joy was lying within us. Paramatma is teaching us step by step how to open up that joy which was lying within us. Next, Slok 28. Yunjannevam sadatmanai yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma sansparsham atyantam sukhamashnute. This infinite joy of union with the Lord is easily attained by those who are free from the burden of selfish will and established within their pure self. Now it is wise to remind ourselves that our real self is pure in our natural state. We are untainted by any selfish desires, completely free from selfish intents, anger, fear, lust, malice. These are all unnatural states which we have come to accept as natural, unfortunately. These are not natural states. Today we are imprisoned by our own passions and cravings. But through the practice of meditation, we can break off these shackles and live freely like the eagle roaring in the sky. Rajoguna means the sense gratification and indiscriminate desires to have position, money, repetition. Rajoguna can be taken care of by Chitta Ekagra. When the consistent demands of mind, senses stops, you start feeling a kind of peacefulness. When you start experiencing this Atmik Sukh within yourself, the importance of pleasure in outside material object, material world, it reduces. And the yogi who is routinely engaged in meditational experiences, this Sukh, this happiness is regular and constant. Next, 29. Paramatma says further, Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha. The yogi sees the one supreme Parabrahma in himself and in all beings. And furthermore, he sees all beings abiding in the supreme Parabrahma. The man of realization sees supreme Parabrahma everywhere. See, the mark of the man or woman who has become united with the Lord is that he or she sees the Lord in all fellow beings in every form of life. There is an anecdote. At the end of Mahabharata war, Yudhishthir, the eldest of Pandavas, he turned up at the gates of heaven with his dog. You might have heard this story probably. The Dwarpal, that is the gatekeeper, takes down all the vital information about Yudhishthira, name, address, siblings, and then he notices the dog with him. Oh my God, what the dog is doing here? Sorry, he said to Yudhishthira. We see this little sign here. It says, dog not allowed. You don't read this sign. Then follows an awfully confusing situation. Yudhishthira is established in the Lord, so he should be admitted. But what should be done with the dog? Finally, the Dwarpal gives Yudhishthira a choice: to enter heaven alone without the dog, to enter the heaven without the dog, or go away from here. You and dog, both, go away from here. Choice is yours. Without the slightest hesitation, Yudhishthira chooses to be with his dog, who is then immediately revealed as Lord Krishna in disguise. So those who are enlightened see the Lord in every creature and are not willing to exploit any other beings for their own profit or pleasure. Being a vegetarian is a simple way of showing our love and respect for the Lord, who lives in all forms of lives, including the lamb, the deer, the chicken, all forms of. The Lord lives everywhere. Next, today's last shloka. We'll conclude the session for the day today after this shloka. Shloka number 30. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvai cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. Important shloka. Paramatma says, this is a guarantee from Paramatma. The one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvai cha mai pashyati. He never gets separated from me and I never get separated from him. So if we don't want to get separated from Paramatma, he is giving us this golden rule. See me everywhere and see everything in me. With this, we don't get separated from him and he never gets separated from us. So how can you get close to the God? First, find him in yourself. And once you find him in yourself, then only you will be able to see him in everything and everybody and every being. First, find him within ourselves, no? We are trying to find in some other people without finding him in us first. We may question as to how to see God in those who are evil, unethical, unrighteous, corrupt. Well, we are unable to do so because we have not found God within ourselves. How we found the God within ourselves? The one who has seen Parabrahma in himself can only see Parabrahma in others. So, search, find the Lord within first. Imagine, evoke the sentiment, I am Govinda. It is Govinda's Chetana in me. Govinda is Parabrahma and I am Parabrahma. The body is untrue and so is the mind. Only Govinda is the truth. You are expected to dress like Govinda, but feel the sentiment from depth of your heart Sri Krishna embraces even his enemies. Only dressing like Govinda doesn't help. Sri Krishna embraces even his enemies. So you two, living with the same sentiment of being Krishna, embrace your enemies. Can you do that? Sri Krishna killed many dacoits, many demons, asuras, but did not hate anyone, not even the Duryodhana. Do you know that Duryodhana was a beloved disciple of Krishna's elder brother Balram? Balram and Duryodhana were fast friends. Yet, never did Krishna ask Balram to steer clear of Duryodhana. Uske saath friendship mat rakho. He never said to Balram. Neither did he ever say, Balram, that since we are in favor of Pandavas, you should not see Duryodhana. Shri Krishna was in favor of Arjuna and Balram was on the side of Duryodhana. In fact, Balram taught Duryodhana the intricacies of fighting with the Gada, with Mesh, Gada Yuddha. No one was an enemy for Krishna. Everyone was same for him. That's why he offered his Narayani Sena to Kauravas. He offered himself. He had offered both, himself or his Narayani Sena. Duryodhana, like a fool, he picked up his Narayani Sena. Arjuna was happy with his Paramatma's presence on the side of Pandavas. But he offered the help to his enemies, so-called enemies also. Because everyone was same for him. So the one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, he never gets separated from me and I never get separated from him. I think we'll end the session here today. Now the forum is open for all of you to raise your questions. Thank you so very much for your patience. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Vaidya, for endowing this August gathering with your words of wisdom. An excellent and elaborate explanation of how a yogi should strive to conquer the mind through meditation. How a trained mind is the best friend, and untrained mind can be the worst enemy for a spiritual aspirant, and how it's difficult to restrain the mind, and how control of mind and practice of detachment can be done. So all these things, just by merely engaging in severe austerities, one cannot progress in the spiritual path. And moderation of even the basic necessities like food, sleep, work, recreation, etc., especially is a very useful tip to all of us in modern day life. Light getting trapped in darkness or ignorance, as you said, is really a matter of great concern and needs a lot of contemplation from everyone. It was indeed an enlightening session, and we are all blessed to be here on this pleasant evening and enrich ourselves with this knowledge. Thank you so much, Vaidya, once again. And now it's time for our interactive session. And may I request our respected Shri Vikas Ji Vaidya Bhaiya to answer the queries of our curious sadhaks. Request
Sure.
you all to come forward with your doubts. Please use the hand symbol. Already, if you are already there, so that you can be unmuted and switch on your videos also. Now, I think, yes. Rajiv Bhaiya, please unmute yourself. Rajiv ji, please unmute yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
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 No, you're audible.
This, you explained very well, Bhaiya. And this in the 13th shloka.
Yeah.
It's some preksha nasika agram swan.
Yeah.
So, what is the actual meaning of nasika gram? Is it the tip of the nose or the beginning place of the nose? That is between the eyebrows.
No, that is Brewer Madhya. This one is Brewer Madhya. Nasika
No,
Gram is this. Agram Nasika. Agram is the front.
No.
Front of Nasika is our Nasika Gram.
The origin of the nose. So,
Yeah.
nose origins from here.
No.
This is the tip of the nose.
Agram is this. Agram is this. The front of nose is this. The tip of the nose.
Okay. Because there are many places where it has been interpreted as the place of origin of the nose, that is between the eyebrows. So what the yogis, when they meditate, they have to focus their eyes at the point between the eyebrows, that is the Agnya Chakra.
Yeah,
So-
There are also those techniques are also there. Wherein
Uh-huh.
Madhya Pranamavesh Samyak in 8th Adhyaya we learn that.
Uh-huh.
Those techniques are to be learned in 8th Adhyaya when we are
Uh-huh.
living goodbye to this earth. We are breathing our last. So that
Yes.
time we have to focus Bhru or Madhya, bring all pranas here and
Ah.
leave from the 10th door, 10th gate of your body, which is here on the top of the head.
It's true, but what the gurus teach when
Yeah.
they give the diksha and when you are taught the meditation, higher level of meditations, is to look at the point between your eyebrows. And even the Bhagavad Gita, interpreted by them, they are mentioning it, Nasikagram. So that that place of origin of the nose. So nose origins from here. There is a
Okay, now
place-
tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. With your eyes, can you see here between this? At the according to
can-
you, the nose
we
starts
can-
from here. So with
Ah,
your eyes, can you see here? Cannot see.
we can see here, but we can't see here because it is a lot of.
You can see here. You cannot see here. You can see here the tip of nose. You can see with focused mind here. But you
Okay.
cannot see here. How can the eyes go up and see here? Here you cannot see. Here you can see. So you have to see here. And that too your own nose tip. Strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have to close your eyes while you meditate.
Yeah.
No, so you don't have to close your eyes when you meditate. You have to keep your eyes open. So when you meditate,
When
you
you
always
are keeping your eyes
eyes.
open
when-
or closed, the idea is to bring your eyes at this place. Whether eyes are open or closed does
Uh-huh.
not matter because it opens the gland in your brain. As I
Yes.
explained to you,
Uh,
it opens the gland in the brain when you move you move your eyes to the tip of the nose. So
mhm.
it is the movement of eyes to this point which opens the gland in your brain.
And then
that
you
takes-
close your eyes.
Okay. And that takes you to the meditation.
Okay.
And
Because
definitely if your eyes are open, then
Uh-huh.
you will get distracted.
okay, because we
No,
have been
because-
instructed Nasikagram. That
Yeah.
actually means the Nasikagram, that is the origin place of the nose, that is here, between the two eyebrows. So that should be the actual interpretation of this thing. That is as explained by the great gurus. But there are many people who will say Nasikagram means the tip of the nose, as it is a yogic life is difficult. Why to make the lives of yogis more difficult by asking them to concentrate here and make them squint?
Because focusing here, it
Okay,
affects your brain functioning.
okay.
Thank you. That is the reason. And this place is not Nasikagra, this is Bhru or Madhya. Between the
this is
eyebrows.
Dhruva Madhya is this, but
Ah.
then Nasikagram, that is what was interpreted by the great guru. That meant the origin of the nose, which is here. So what he actually meant, Bhagwan Krishna meant, that was here. Because whenever you meditate, they are all giving the where to focus your attention. That is here. You have to look
See,
upward.
According to the word used, Nasikagram Swam is
Okay.
your own
It's the
tip
tip.
of the nose. This is my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next Suchitra Didi. Please,
Jai
Anu.
Shri, Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes, yes.
My question is very practical. I'm a homemaker.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that we have to see God in everyone. But when you see a bandicoot or a cockroach or a lizard, you feel revulsion, and you want to remove it from your premises, of you want to just remove it, which is basically trying to put some medicine and kill it. Is that wrong?
You see, if you do not take care of the rats, you say if killing the rat or putting some poison for the rat who comes to your house every night and disturbs the entire house. If you don't do that, and if you give full freedom to the rat, today one rat is coming, tomorrow 10 rats will start coming. Slowly your house will be full of rats and you will have to find a place outside somewhere to live. Then our whole purpose of living the life and doing meditation will be defeated. So we have to take basic minimum care of our own safety in life. It is not only about cockroach and rat, it is about the human beings also. If somebody
So it's
knocks
not
at
wrong.
door, yeah, it is not wrong. It is not wrong. So long as we are taking care of our own safety and our own health, then it is not wrong. First of all, you should not allow that to get generated in your house. Why the cockroaches come? Because we are not keeping our kitchen clean, isn't it? If we keep the kitchen clean and if we do the pest control regularly, why the cockroaches will come there? So we invite them with our bad habits and then we kill them. Then that is wrong. That is wrong. Let them
So
not come.
basically, if we try to keep it clean and we see it outside our house or whatever, and we have to annihilate it. It's not wrong. Basically, we're not committing a sin.
Right. Yeah. You're not committing a sin if you're taking care of yourself.
Okay. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes.
Next, Ramlinga Gaudaji. Please unmute yourself. I think you should be unmuting yourself.
Namaskaram, Maharaj.
Namaskar.
My questions is how to concentrate mind in soul in 25, 26, 25, how to trace this Atma for concentration.
See, the only way to do is to remove your mind from the material desires. If you cut off your mind from material desires, then only it gets established in your soul. An agitated mind, which is full of anxiety, desires, kamanas, will never get established in your soul.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, as we discussed about Brahma Nirvana, Nirvana is you have to cut off your relationship with the material world. Your mind should be devoid of kamanas. Such a mind only, which is quiet and down, that mind only can get established in the soul. So cutting off material world is the first step. Nirvana is the first step. Then comes the Brahma Nirvana. Then you can get established in your own soul. And doing Atma Dhyan is what? Atma Dhyan and Brahma Dhyan is same, because our Atma is a fragment of Paramatma only, isn't it? So if we detach ourselves from the material world, our mind, and then establish it in our pure self, which is our Jivatma, we are establishing it in Paramatma itself. Because our Jivatma is Paramatma only. Our Atma is Paramatma only. Yeah. So cutting off with material world is the first step. Then only the mind can get established in the soul, not otherwise.
Another one questions, Maharaj. Already talked by the Rajiv Bhai. Concentration in the Nasigra.
Yeah.
Some eye tear is coming for 10 minutes concentration in the Nasigra. To avoid tears from eyes.
Sorry, I could not understand. What do you say?
Concentration, meditation in the concentration, the Nasigra.
Yeah.
Sitting the meditation.
Yes.
Some water come from our eyes.
No, you have to keep your eyes closed and only rotate the eyeballs to this place.
Yeah.
Okay. And it may, if you have an eye problem, it may happen, but then you should take some eye treatment, put some water, some eye drops, so that the eyes are good enough to do meditation. For that matter, any part of your body which is ailing, then you will have to first cure the body. Then only meditation can happen. If your shoulder is paining, your legs are paining, your knees are giving away, your back pain is there, then how can we do meditation? So that's why before meditation, we are supposed to do two things. One is asanas and pranayam. Asanas and pranayam will perfect our body. Meditation will perfect our mind. And we have to, through yoga, we have to attain both. Only perfecting body is not the requirement of yoga, but perfecting the mind as well. And that is what we do through meditation. First, perfect your body and then enter into meditation. Otherwise, sit for 5 minutes in meditation and then some body part will start paining here and there.
Yes.
Then focusing the mind will be impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, okay. Maharaj, thank you, Maharaj.
Next, we have Achyutanand ji. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, Shri Krishna Bhaiya ji.
Yes, Shri Krishna.
Yeah, I had one question that
Yeah.
this in the sixth chapter, God has told that you should do the meditation yoga, and in other chapters there are chapters on Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and there are chapters. So are they all optional? You can choose one of the paths, or one has to do necessarily this to attain his virtuality.
See, whether you follow any yoga, whether you follow Sankhya Yoga that you will learn in second Adhyay, or you follow Karma Yoga, which we have learned in third and fourth Adhyay, part of it in fifth Adhyay also, and now this Atma Sanyam Yoga, what we are learning in sixth Adhyay, or the Bhakti Yoga, what you will learn in 12th Adhyay. In all yogas, the first basic requirement is the purification of mind. If your mind is not pure, then you cannot do even Nishkam Karma. If your mind is full of desires, how can your karma become Nishkam?
Yes.
And Atma Sanyam Yoga is teaching us exactly the same. How to purify your mind, how to purify your body. So different yogas are applied to the body and to the mind to attain the purification of Antakaran, mind, intellect. And then only you can attain other yogas, whether it is Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga or Sankhya Yoga. So Atma Sanyam Yoga is for, as the name clarifies, Atma Sanyam. Restraining your mind, restraining your thoughts, restraining your intellect is the purpose of this Adhyay. And unless that restraining, subduing of our own senses has been achieved by us, if we keep running after our senses, sense gratification, can we enter into any yoga?
Obviously not.
Yeah, can we enter even Bhakti Yoga? As I said, if you are doing Mala Japa and your mind is wandering somewhere, wandering here and there, are we doing really any yoga? Nothing. No. So before doing any yoga, purification of mind is the basic prerequisite.
So this will help in attaining getting into most of other.
Of course, yes. Meditation purifies guaranteedly. Guaranteed. Regular meditation guaranteedly purifies your mind. All bad thoughts will evaporate.
Yeah. Now, regular meditation means what? Up to, see, as long as we are healthy, at some age, people become old and become unhealthy. Then the meditation, will that continue? If he has practiced, can he continue, or then he leaves it?
See, meditation is a mental process. Whether you are lying down or whether you are sitting on a chair or you are sitting in a Padmasana, does not matter, so long as you have learned the technique of meditation. Old people cannot sit on the ground and then sit in Padmasana. They cannot. So sitting on chair is also allowed for meditation. You can sit on the chair. Focusing of mind is required. Chitta ekagrata is required. Concentration of mind is required. Cutting away your mind from material world is required. For that, you don't have to do anything other than sitting and focusing on your mind and your thoughts. What thoughts are coming to my mind? What my mind is doing with that? So be a witness of your own mind. Play this game sometime. Sit when you are sitting morning after your morning breakfast and all that. Sit on a chair quietly, close your eyes and just watch, observe your own mind. What my mind is thinking, from where the thoughts are coming, where the thoughts are going, how the mind is processing the thoughts. So it will be an interesting game if we start playing with our own mind as a third person. Then we start the character of our own mind. Unfortunately, we do not know our own mind because we have never studied our own mind.
Obviously.
It teaches us this basic thing of life, that first study your own mind as a witness, as a third person. So you know the game the mind is playing with you throughout the life. We are getting fooled by our own mind and we are getting fooled for the whole life.
Obviously. Obviously.
So let us know our own mind first.
Okay. So this is enabler, and this can be done in any condition of the health once learn the technique.
As long as you are healthy, you must sit in a good posture.
Okay.
Samankai Purogrivan Dharene Chamstila Samprekshana Agram Samdishasha Navalokayan. These are all the things required.
Okay.
Nati Chitan Nati Nichay Chailajana Kushottaram Tatre Gagram Manakurtva Ita Chitendriya. All these steps what Yogeshwar Krishna has taught us, we have to follow those. But if the health is not permitting you and you have learned this technique, then if you are bedridden and if we cannot practice the steps, the mind is active. Mind is active. So you can do mental meditation lying down also. If the condition demands that. In normal situation, we should not do that. Body should be perfected. As I said, through asanas and pranayama, but ultimately age catches on everybody. So if age-related issues are cropping up and they don't allow you to sit in this posture, don't give up meditation for that reason. Meditation can be done in other positions also.
One more thing,
Yeah.
is it necessary to go do it under some guidance, or one can start and do it of their own?
See, if we are new to this yoga, meditation, it is better to take the guidance of a yogic teacher. He will tell you how to sit, what kind of thoughts will come to your mind, and he will make you in that yoga nidra, what we discussed.
Yes, yes.
Yoga nidra is a process which will steal down your mind, all parts of the body, right from your head to toe. That guru will touch each portion of your body and he will make it relaxed. First the head. Are you feeling relaxed? What thoughts are coming? Are you feeling okay? Something like that. So after some time, every part of body will start getting relaxed. So it is better to go through a guru at least initially. And once you have perfected the technique, then you can do it on your own at your home.
Okay, that's very good. But only problem we find that different gurus have different methods, and we do not know which is the right path, because everybody has interpreted Gita in different ways. There are so many gurus and they have interpreted Gita 6 chapters in different way. I have gone through some of the chapters, so that becomes a little difficult to understand where to start. Then how to.
Fine. See, understanding Gita by different people differently is the beauty of Gita.
Yeah,
that is why Gita is studied by so many people, and we listen to all the experts, because everybody has a different level of intellectual, isn't it? And from his own buddhimatta, from his own intellectual level, he will analyze the way he has understood the Gita.
Okay.
That's why it is interesting to listen to the thoughts of different people for the same shloka. Same shloka will be interpreted differently by different people. But that does not happen in yoga or pranayama. There the process is fixed. Meditational process is fixed. There the experts will have the same opinion about how to enter into pranayama, how to do asanas, how to do yoga nidra, how to do meditation. Their experts do not matter. Every expert will have the same process.
Okay, got it. Then we can definitely try. That was always a question in our mind, that how to select. But any expert, if you go through, they will guide through the same process. Then it's all right.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Next, Priyadarshan Pantji, please unmute yourself.
Yes, namaskar.
Namaskar.
My questions are 2 or 3 of them. One thing is tapa and dhyana, are they the same or different?
Tapa and dhyana are different.
Achha.
See, in the context of people like us, who are familiar people, dhyan is this meditation, what we are entering into. Dhyan, dharana, pratyahar, these are the steps of meditation. Okay. While other thing, what you said is tapa. For tapa, the traditional meaning of tapa is to decide on doing something which will trouble your body and mind both. Like in Sinastar Kumbh Mela, you see the sadhus, they stand on one leg for 12 years, or they stand upside down on their head for many years. Or sadhus who will pierce something from here and take out from here. So these are all tapas, they call it. For us, the tap means, as I think I explained some time back, for us, the tap means in our day-to-day life, while performing our kartavya karma, our prescribed duties, we face favorable situations and unfavorable situations both. Time is not same all the time. Sometimes it is favorable, sometimes it is unfavorable. But without bothering about whether it is favorable or not favorable, to keep performing our prescribed duty is the tapa. So for us, tap means to keep performing our prescribed kartavya karma, prescribed duty, irrespective of favorable or unfavorable. And dhyan is what we are learning in this adhyay. Nati chitan nati nijay chailajan kushottaram, all that. That is dhyan, meditational dhyan.
Okay, this part is
These two different things. Yeah.
Thank you. Then the second question is this: when we say these shloks, then there are supposed to be like matras. So that means it's like in poetry also they have matra, and in singing we have the matras, trital, chaptal, vagera.
Yeah.
So is it the same when you say eight matra? This.
You see, the shlokas of Gita, what we read, they are as per the grammar of Panini. Okay. So Panini grammar is used because there are two ways of singing Gita. One is the Vedic way. Vedic way is they don't care much about avagraha and all that. They don't care about anuswara. Every anuswara will be pronounced as mo. While in Panini, every anuswara will be pronounced differently depending upon the letter that follows that anuswara. So if we read Gita as per Panini grammar, taking care of aghat, taking care of rasva, dirgha, visarga, then we are doing automatic pranayam. When we read the shloka, Samankaya shiro grivan dharayanyachalam sthiraha samprekshanasika gram sam dishascha navalokayan. So when we read as per Mool Sanhita, one line in one breath, it is an automatic pranayam that we do. And we take aghat, we take care of rasva, dirgha. If you read Gita for, say, all 700 shlokas in one sitting, you are doing pranayam for nearly 2 hours. So Gita will give you body benefit through pranayam and of course mind benefit because the messages are getting registered in our mind.
No, my question is also partly answered by you, but what I wanted to know is when we say Anushtup Chanda, so in that there are 8 matras, I think, in each line.
Yeah.
So how does one how does one count the matras? Like I know in our Gayan, I know how to count the matras. And
see, we have done that job simple for you. In PDF, what is prepared in Gita Pariwar, after every charan, we have put a comma. Okay. So, Samankai Shiro Grivan Dharayanyachalam Sthiraha. So, after 8 letters, you stop. If you see the format of PDF, after 8 letters, there is a comma. That is what we call as a charan. So that matra counting has already been taken care of when we prepare the PDF. And when you are reading as per PDF, you are reading as per that matras. But when you are reading as per Sanhita, one line in one breath, then we are reading as per Panini grammar, exactly as per Mool Sanhita. So both we teach in Gita Pariwar, as per matra, charan also, and as per Sanhita also.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you.
I think we don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Can we move forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your wonderful answers, and the questions also were very, very informative. And we also, everybody here gained some knowledge through the questions asked by all our sadhaks, and the answers were excellent, and we could really understand each and every question very clearly. Now we'll move forward with the next step for the Thanksgiving Pratana, and to offer our sincere prayers at the lotus feet of Paramatma. I invite Srimati Jharna Makilaji from Mumbai. She is associated with Gita Pariwar since Jan 2022 and is offering seva as a court trainer in all levels. Didi is a pharmacy graduate, a housewife, and learning Sanskrit. Jharna Didi, please come forward for the Pratana. You are muted, Didi. Please unmute yourself.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, Bhaiya, for this enlightening session. Yogesham Satchidanandam Vasudevam Rajapriyam Dharma Samstapakam Veeram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you so much, Didi, for that wonderful prarthana. So, and before moving forward, I would like to remind all of you that the L1 35th batch is going to start from September 23. And request all of you to pass on this information to your near and dear and all your acquaintances so that everybody will get the benefit of this largest online Geeta platform, and they can participate in the Geeta Gyan Yajna conducted by Geeta Pariwar. So please do this. And now we'll move forward with the next part. Lord Krishna says, do everything you have to do, but not with greed, not with ego, not with lust, not with envy, but with love, compassion, humility, and devotion. This is the way all the Sevis in Geeta Pariwar take up any activity assigned to them. So the success of our session today is because of many such unseen hands behind the scene. So let me take this opportunity on behalf of Geeta Pariwar and sincerely thank our technical team, Tanushri Didi and the whole of the backend team for their untiring efforts in making this session a memorable one to all of us. We also extend our heartfelt gratitude to all our Geeta sadhaks for attending this session and making it a grand success. Thank you all. See you all in another enlightening session, same time next week. And before we sign off, let us join in the group chanting of Hanuman Chalisa.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी बरन रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि करहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा गानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जो सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जप नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब वीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरई हनुमत बल बीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।